The Tangki ritual begins not with prayer, but with immediate, violent self-mutilation. A medium, often dressed in elaborate robes, enters a deep trance state, allegedly allowing a deity to inhabit their body. The most striking element is the use of sharp implements, including swords, axes, and spiked balls, driven directly into the flesh, typically the cheeks, tongue, or back. This physical trauma serves as undeniable proof of the deity's presence, demonstrating the spirit's power over the human body's limitations. The medium's behavior shifts dramatically, adopting the mannerisms, voice, and even the gait of the possessing deity. This transformation is instantaneous, moving from a normal state to full possession within minutes, often accompanied by loud chanting and rhythmic drumming designed to facilitate the descent of the spirit. Tangki, meaning divine planchette or spirit medium in Hokkien, functions as a temporary conduit between the human and divine realms. The core belief is that the medium's soul, or hun, temporarily vacates the body, allowing the deity spirit, the Shen, to take control. This process is known as jitong, or spirit child. The medium does not channel the deity. They become the deity for the duration of the ritual. The physical body is merely a vehicle, explaining the alleged immunity to pain and injury. If the possession is successful, the medium loses all personal consciousness and memory of the event. The deity uses the medium's voice to deliver prophecies, offer medical advice, or perform exorcisms, acting as a direct, authoritative source of divine will for the community.
The deities possessing Tangki are usually powerful figures from the Chinese folk pantheon, often associated with martial prowess or healing. Common possessors include Nezha, the third prince, known for his youthful energy and use of the fire wheels, or Guanggang, the god of war, who demands strict moral adherence. Each deity possesses a distinct personality and specific ritual requirements. When possessed by the monkey god, the medium exhibits acrobatic movements and playful, sometimes aggressive, behavior. The specific deity determines the type of self-mutilation performed and the instruments used. A medium typically serves only one or a few specific deities throughout their career, establishing a long-term spiritual contract with that divine entity. Becoming a recognized Tangki requires rigorous spiritual preparation and often involves an involuntary calling. Many mediums report experiencing severe, unexplained illness or psychological distress before accepting the divine mandate. Once called, the initiate undergoes extensive purification rituals, including strict vegetarian diets, sexual abstinence, and prolonged periods of meditation. The initiation ceremony, known as opening the mouth, is crucial, formally establishing the medium's connection to the spirit world. During this ceremony, the medium is often tested by senior practitioners to verify the authenticity of the possession. Failure to adhere to the strict moral and physical codes can result in the loss of the divine connection or severe spiritual retribution, emphasizing the high stakes involved in this vocation.
The induction of the trance state is a carefully orchestrated event relying heavily on sensory overload. The ritual space is saturated with thick incense smoke, loud gongs, and rapid drumming, creating a disorienting environment. Assistants, known as Tangki soldiers, help manage the medium and the crowd. The medium often begins by swaying violently or hyperventilating, signaling the onset of the possession. A key element is the use of spirit water or talismans, which are consumed or applied to the body to facilitate the spirit's entry. Once possessed, the medium is handed the specific weapons associated with the deity. The transition is marked by a sudden, deep, guttural sound, signifying the deity's arrival and the medium's loss of self-control. The instruments used by the Tangki are not standard weapons, but consecrated ritual tools. The seven-star sword, a blade embedded with 7 brass dots representing the Big Dipper constellation, is frequently used for piercing the cheeks. The spiked ball, or mace, is a heavy, round weapon covered in sharp points, often slammed against the back or chest. These tools are ritually purified before every use, ensuring they are spiritually clean and ready to receive the deity's power. The wounds inflicted are precise and deep, yet observers frequently note minimal bleeding and rapid closure. The act of self-wounding is interpreted as a sacrifice, demonstrating the deity's power and purifying the medium and the surrounding space from malevolent influences.
Despite claims of divine protection, the physical reality of the Tangki's practice involves significant trauma. While some wounds appear to heal quickly, scarring is common, particularly around the mouth and back. The alleged pain immunity is often attributed to a dissociative state induced by the trance, similar to deep hypnotic analgesia. However, the sheer force applied during the rituals suggests a profound physiological response beyond simple psychological dissociation. Medical professionals who have observed these rituals note that the wounds, while often superficial, carry high risks of infection, especially given the public nature of the ceremonies. The medium must undergo specific post-ritual cleansing and healing rites, often involving herbal remedies and consecrated ash, to ensure the wounds close without complication. The Tangki serves a central function in many Chinese folk communities, acting as a spiritual consultant and problem solver. People consult the possessed medium for a wide range of issues, including diagnosing mysterious illnesses, seeking advice on business ventures, and resolving family disputes. Exorcism is a frequent service where the deity uses the medium's body to confront and expel malevolent spirits or ghosts. The advice given is considered infallible because it originates directly from the divine realm. Consultations often involve the deity writing talismans or prescribing specific rituals to address the supplicant's problems. This system provides immediate, culturally relevant spiritual support that complements and sometimes replaces modern medical or psychological services.
The practice of Tangki is not without intense scrutiny and skepticism, particularly from outside observers and modern secular society. Critics argue that the self-mutilation is a form of elaborate stagecraft, utilizing techniques like shallow piercing or pre-prepared instruments to minimize actual damage. The trance state itself is sometimes dismissed as a form of hysteria or deep self-hypnosis, rather than genuine divine possession. Furthermore, instances of fraudulent mediums, motivated by financial gain, have occasionally surfaced, damaging the credibility of legitimate practitioners. However, proponents counter that the consistency of the deity's behavior across different mediums and the verifiable lack of pain response during deep piercing defy simple explanation, maintaining the belief in the supernatural origin of the phenomenon. Despite modernization and increased scientific understanding, the Tangki tradition remains robust, particularly in Southeast Asian Chinese communities like Singapore, Malaysia, and Taiwan. The rituals provide a tangible connection to ancestral traditions and a sense of cultural identity that resists assimilation. The public spectacle of the Tangki ritual reinforces community bonds and reaffirms the power of the local temple and its resident deities. While the methods are brutal and controversial, the role of the medium as a spiritual protector and divine messenger ensures the continuation of this ancient practice. The Tangki embodies the living, visceral reality of Chinese folk religion, where the divine is not distant but physically present and actively intervening in human affairs.